And after Sunday service, they're smoking in the parking lot. They can't even make it to the crib. And if you're an adult with kids watching this right now, you're a hypocrite. So basically, we're all hypocrites. And I say that because, right, since birth, right, at least some of us or most of us, we all try not to be a hypocrite. But one thing I realized, like, in my 20 years on this planet is that we're all technically are considered hypocrites by definition. And that's just going off the basic definition of a hypocrite. A person, for example, as a kid or as a teenager at least, when my mom tells me to do this, and then she does it herself, or she said, oh, don't do that, you don't want to do that, and then she does it herself, right? Parents, let's just talk about parents, for example, let's talk about parents, right? Parents would grow up telling their kids, don't do drugs, don't do this, don't drink, don't smoke, don't do that, don't do this, do that, right? Mind you, I understand their standards because obviously they want their kids to be better than them. Fine, that's cool, that's exactly. But by definition, your mom and your dad is a hypocrite. And if you're an adult with kids watching this right now, you're a hypocrite. Just basic, it's a basic understanding of what a hypocrite is. You tell your kids, don't smoke, don't drink. Later that night, you're smoking and drinking. And I know you're smoking and drinking. So don't lie. It's okay, right? Humans, we have developed this sense that being a hypocrite is a bad thing, right? But technically it might not be all bad, right? It might not be all bad. It's normal, right? Everybody is born a hypocrite, right? Only because, like, what's the best way to explain it to y'all? Like, we have this thing, like, we want, I'm not gonna say, I don't have any kids, right? But people with kids, it's probably some audience watching this with kids. You want your children to be better than you, right? And because you want your children to be better than you, you're gonna have to do some hypocritical things. For example, like the things I mentioned earlier. But not even just with parents, even with teenagers and stuff like that. We're hypocrites too, right? We'll go around like, it's a list of things, but I'm gonna try to fit into this one video. It's like we all tell somebody to do something that's bad, and we probably most likely do that same thing. I related to the parents because it's really common and really everybody get where I'm coming from when I say, like, oh, your mom or your dad tell you not to drink or smoke, just the basic stuff, and then they drink and smoke. Or even you might have parents that are part of the LGBT, that community, and they might tell you not to be a part of that community as you were growing up, and you look at them like they're crazy, like you're a hypocrite. So the whole point of this video, right, is basically just explaining, like, I want the world to understand, and the whole point of this channel is for me to come in here into my room or whatever, talk to you, yap about things I realized. And today I realized we're all hypocrites, and it's fine, right? By definition, right? Just by basic definition. A hypocrite is a person that can seem hypocritical based on certain information that they give you or certain things that they tell you to do and what not to do, and then they do it themselves. Or it can really be with anything. Your friend can tell you go swim or go jump off a bridge, and then, or they tell you don't jump off a bridge, and then they go jump off a bridge. They can be considered hypocrite. And things like that. Boom, even religious folk, right? Let's just talk about religious people, for example, right? Technically, don't get triggered. This whole channel, we talk about anything on this channel, so please don't get triggered. So basically, even people that are religious can be hypocrites. Christians, for example, and I'm just saying that because we live in a Western world. That's what I'm going to talk about. The Christian religion, right? They'll tell you, God don't want you to do that. God wants you to do this. God say don't do that, bar for bar, right? And then that whole week, they do it, right? Their belief system says, oh, we're not supposed to smoke at all. And after Sunday service, they're smoking in the parking lot. They can't even make it to the crib or to the house yet. They're smoking. It's just, that's hypocrite. That's being a hypocrite. And by by research, like 85% of current 85%, I'm not going to put that on research. This is my opinion, right? I'm going to assume 85% of Christians are hypocrites in today's society. Obviously you got that 10-15% that are not, but 85% I believe are, right? They for example, Christians not supposed to eat pork, but they eat pork. And the Bible say don't eat pork, they eat pork. They're a hypocrite. That doesn't mean they're a bad person. They're just a hypocrite. It's just what goes on. For example, police officers, right? We have cops that are supposed to protect and serve, right? But we have current cases of off-duty cops committing crimes and stuff like that. That puts them into that hypocrite category, right? It throws them into that pot of hypocrites. What else? We have, so I can go on and on. We have judges that's supposed to be a judge and stuff like that. You catch them out of their role, they're acting like a hypocrite. It's in our human nature to behave this way, right? We're going to do things that goes against our belief system, which by definition will consider you, me, and every other human on the planet a hypocrite. Some people like to connect hypocrite and liar together. I don't believe a hypocrite is a liar. I just think a hypocrite actually believes in that way. It's just sometimes they act the opposite way. And that's just how that goes half of the time. So yeah, like basically the whole point is you're a hypocrite, I'm a hypocrite, and it's okay, you know? It's perfectly fine to be a hypocrite. It's in our human nature. And yeah. Thank you for tuning into my second yap session on this channel. I'll see y'all in like next week or in 2 weeks.